Hello everyone and welcome to the LSI F1.5 EU Championship. We're today for the Belgian Grand Prix. Round 10 into the double digits. As I said yesterday, we're on board with the home man himself, Bassoon. He's on an outlap, currently on top, a 43.0. Can anybody else compete with him? We know that he's pretty quick around this circuit. Last time he did win after recovering from a pretty big incident. Cohen is looking to try and get redemption from themselves, really. Last time around we were here, unfortunately, they had a bit of a mistake, and that lost them the race win. So, Cohen, he wants to try and go for the win. He wants to try and go for the win to gain on the championship. We've got everybody trying to do something. You know, everybody has a reason. So far, Bassoon is about to start a lap, and to open it up for Zingy, we'll let him go on board, if that's alright, Zingy.
I'll try my best. It's a long track. Belgium. Is it the longest? I'm sure it is. Starting the lap now, you want to take a wide line on exit to increase the momentum into turn 1, braking about 75 metres into La Sauce now. You want to get it hooked on the curb a little bit and run it as wide as you can on exit without getting invalidated. Now coming down the hill and then going up it, down a Rouge and up through Radion as fast as you can, flat through here, 190 mile an hour, and onto the straight now. You want to deploy the DRS, minimise the track distance as much as you possibly can, and now into the column. Now Bassoon is for 200s down, so he needs to find a little bit of an improvement through the column now, and he's done that nicely. Next is it going to be into the long hairpin, which is 4th gear, and you really need to be patient on the throttle. Look at his input if you can. You can hear it. He has to wait, and then he finally gets the power on through no name now. Run it wide on exit without getting track invalidation. And now coming into pull on now, 7th gear, almost flat out. You don't want to run too wide just in case you get a track invalidation. And now coming into the really tricky chicane. You need to hook it onto the curb here, and then the second curb also without spinning yourself out. There is an Alpine in the way, but he manages to keep it out of the way, thankfully. And Bassoon nearly goes off track. He does, but he doesn't get the validation, and he's 1.5 tenths up, and he's going to get a little bit of a slipstream off the McLaren here, coming into Spa-Francorchamps, and this is the run into the bus stop chicane, so this is going to provide him with a lot of track time. He needs to keep it off the curb though, because that will make the car bottom out, and into the bus stop chicane now. You want to brake just before the curb, get it nice and stopped, rotate it in third gear, short shift up to 4th, open the DRS and up to the line. It will be an improvement of 4 tenths, a 42.6. That's a fantastic lap.
Very, very good job. Just over a second on Robbo. We've still got a little bit of time left in the session, but unlike most circuits, 6 minutes isn't actually that long. You're only going to get really 1, maybe 2 runs if you're lucky, and you'd probably have to do 2 consecutive runs in that, because the outlap is so long. It takes up so much time. You've got to be very, very precise with your time. Robbo currently sits in P2. Not many people have set lap times. We do have 4 higher tier drivers. That's End Andrews, EgaPro, Highshot and PJ, of course. So they're making up some sort of the grid. So they're not going to be setting lap times. Everybody else, though, they do need to try and get some lap times in, because otherwise they're going to be in big trouble. Track limits around here are very, very tricky. The downforce is really low because of those really high speed sections, which also makes it difficult because you're going so low on the downforce, then you're going to be squirming on the track limits. So today we're going to see a lot of people have issues. Robbo goes and invalidates. I think they might be on an in-lap, so that doesn't really matter. Cohen, a 43.0 just then, so a very good effort. Still, 4 tenths ahead is Bassoon. So Cohen, I don't know, would he have only just about beaten Bassoon's lap time before that? So I'm not quite sure, but that is a pretty impressive lap time from Bassoon right there.
I just checked there, and he would have bet it by only a couple of milliseconds as he cuts the Lecombe section. You can't be doing that too much, otherwise you'll be getting a penalty. But Cohen's lap time here is only 200s ahead, and now Bassoon set a lap time 4 tenths quicker. So usually we're always talking about Cohen being this absolute madman in qualifying, but now Bassoon's managed to pull this out of the bag, so maybe he's fixed his qualifying a bit. And I've known from previous encounters with him that his race pace around this track seems to be doing quite well. So Bassoon's got every chance at this home Grand Prix to conjure up a very good result, and Nigel Mansell once said it gives you a second advantage, so he's using that to good use at least.
Yeah, it was very, very good use. It was pretty accurate just a moment ago. He had a second over the entire field. Will anybody else be able to come back at them? Gilly, we know that he's in the past run very, very low wings. Recently, he's been pretty high on the wings. What will he decide to do this time? I think he doesn't have a choice. He has to go low on the wings. Everybody does. Otherwise, you're going to be in big trouble. No one really doing a lap. Gilly's on a lap. We've got a couple people who will be on outlaps shortly. But Gilly in that Ferrari going to be absolutely ploughing it through the straight line section of the circuit. There you go, just about got it out of Malmedy. Very tricky if you don't have too much downforce, because you're going to be understeering like hell. And understeering, as you see, as you go through the long hairpin, you do need to brake a little bit earlier than you'd expect for that corner, because otherwise you're not going to actually make it, especially if you're going to try and go side by side with somebody through P1. It can be easy to lose the car, but on heavy fuel load, I think it's pretty easy. If you don't have lots of fuel in the car, you'll probably be alright. Now we'll see how this goes. For the rest of the lap, is he going to be able to improve as we go across the sector line? 3/10 improvement. 3/10 wouldn't be enough to get an extra position, and that's the thing around this circuit. You gain a lot of time, but it might not actually make that much difference because the circuit's so long. All of a sudden, margins get longer and bigger compared to a track like Austria, for example. Here we go, Gilly into the final bus-stop chicane. This is probably going to be their last lap. I don't think they'll be able to get around in time for one more. That's going to be a 4/10 improvement. Very close to the back of Dave Raptors time-wise, but unfortunately for him, that will be it. He will not be able to get anywhere further. He's just kind of gone for a defensive time, I guess.
And what do you mean by defensive thing? Do you mean that he's just set a lap time that do you think would be good enough to get him mid-pack, or
maybe hold the other cars behind him? That if you can't get in front of the cars ahead, obviously you're gaining time to the cars behind, so they are, well, less likely to be able to get to your time. Maybe they can still, so at the moment Gilly just has to wait and see. Bit of praying maybe, but P5, it's not a bad place to start, but you are quite surrounded. It's going to be somewhat tricky, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. We've got a couple people out. I just want to see that Gibby goes off the circuit to allow Safari to go through, and that is Kaiser's AI, unfortunately, not being in the best position for Safari. Luckily, he wasn't on an important lap, just an outlap. There's a little bit of a block with Rexty, as unfortunately he gets slightly impeded. It's not a big deal, but it might be something that he might want to note later on. He might be able to get away with that one. We'll see. Down the straight we go, though. Rexty had a brilliant start last time around at the Netherlands. Was right up there. Unfortunately, had a bit of a spin and then got in the wrong place at the wrong time when JJ had his spin, which caused them to retire from the race.
Yeah, I mean, Rexty was it not Belgium, was it not France as well, which he had a really good start. He managed to clean up the field and then he made a bit of a mistake. The thing is, he's very good at keeping out of trouble, but the issue is he just keeps on making these mid-race mistakes. Maybe it's more tyre wear, maybe he's got more of an aggressive tyre wear setup, or maybe it's just a bit of pressure which is getting to him. We don't know what it is, but if Rexty can just cut these mistakes out, he's got every chance, if not more, to get good points, even if a podium. And if he gets quite lucky, with maybe some safety cars, he could get a win. And this is him coming from F1 2018, remember?
Yeah, for sure. It's a big jump. And I'll tell you what, just said hello to somebody. This is Vale, joins the lobby. We knew that they were going to be possibly joining, but didn't quite expect it. They are here now, and they're going to be starting in P12 or lower. Qualifying is now over. Lots of people will not be able to improve. Pursoon will not be able to improve. Cohen went purple in the first sector. The middle sector, it can be a little bit buggy, but he still goes purple, up by half a tenth, so it wouldn't be enough. Maybe he lost a bit of time in that first sector. I don't quite know. We'll have to wait and see. He's going to come around the final few corners and try and challenge Pursoon, but gaining 3.5 tenths in just a chicane is absolutely insane. Can he get it done? Here we go. Cohen up to the line. What will it be for him? And it's going to be almost a tenth, a 42.9. He does dip into the 42s. Dave Raptors, I think, is the last one. Tafari might actually get a lap in here. Is he in front of Dave Raptors right now, or is that Rexty? I'm not quite sure. Very, very close to track limits. A bit of a moment in the steering for the Brit Englishman. I can't quite remember what flag he's running under, but we'll say Brit for now. Once again, bit of a moment on the steering, so running that really low downforce setup that you have to do around here. 4 tenths improvement at the moment. This would be enough to get him ahead of his teammate, so that would be pretty nice. P3 and P2, arguably the better position to start a race in. Final few corners to go. Dave Raptors will decide his fate. So will Tafari. I believe it is Tafari in front, as he's going to carry on with this lap. So yes, Dave Raptors might have got a bit of a toe. Tafari crosses the line. Dave Raptors as well. And that is him improving nicely in front of his teammate. Tafari managed to get... Don't know if it was ahead of Gilly or just behind him.
And Dave Raptors stole P3 in the end. A good lap for him.
Yeah, very, very good. That is qualifying done. We're going to wait till we get the results on our screen. Pursoon takes pole position. Cohen in P2 and then Dave Raptors in P3. Tafari did manage to get to P6 in the end. That is the rest of the grid. We'll skim through the race director just in case if we need to later on. And then we will be back for the race. We'll see you in a bit. Ready, hold, go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? We're finally away, and Pursoon gets away pretty well. We know Cohen will always come back. Does he get to the lead? He does get to the lead. Pursoon trying to hold it back to the inside. There's a bit of a wheel bang. That's the Alpine going very, very wide as he takes a running action of himself. I don't think anybody else was actually there near to cause any problems. Looking side by side with Gilly and Gibby. Is he going to be able to hold it? No, Gilly has to back out, and they're going to give that position up. Looking back up front, will Cohen go for the lead? He will, and here comes Dave Raptors. Is he going to be able to take it? No, backs off. Cohen looks for the lead, cuts the position off and makes it work. Dave Raptors is going to follow him through. Pursoon might have a look at getting a switchback. Can he return the favour? Not quite yet. They're going to settle behind. Unfortunately, Tafari is down the order. A couple cars mixing up. Once again, Robbo having a look. Pursoon just going backwards on the start right here. That is, yeah, Eager Pro Tafari, unfortunately, down the order. Somehow, Gilly manages to get through that as they're going side by side up at Rouge, but they actually lost out a fair bit.
Robbo went inside of the long hairpin on Pursuit and he made that contact, and now Pursuit's all over the shop. He just can't seem to find the pace. The pressure really getting into him, and then the Alpine of Robbo going right around the outside. That's a great move if he can make it stick. He gets pushed off track a little bit. That's a bit questionable from Robbo, but he makes the move up into P3. And now the Alpine's, oh, Rexy's spun, and he's out of the race. He needs to be careful. His car needs to be careful it doesn't career into anyone else, and it doesn't. And it's going to be a virtual safety car. But wow, Rexy losing the back end nearly into the path of PJ, I think it was, and thankfully nothing else happened. But unfortunate for Rexy to already be out this race after looking quite promising at the start of the weekend.
Yeah, that is a double retirement now, 2 races in a row. It's a very easy corner to lose the car at, so I wouldn't blame him, but it's not what you want to see on lap 1, is it? It's a big heartbreak. Now, Cohen leads the way, so a phenomenal start from him. Dave Raptor's right behind, looking very, very quick. Can he get his first win? Is that going to be possible here in Belgium? Robbo in P3, Pursoon in P4 as they switched not too long ago. They're pretty close together. When will we get that safety car restart? Not quite yet. We'll have to wait and see. Gibby sitting close behind in P5. Very, very close behind in P5, side by side with, is that a Ferrari and somebody else? No, PG, I don't know. Yes, yeah. Oh, Cohen makes a mistake. No, Robbo makes a mistake, sorry, you said, as that is now Pursuit gonna make that move back. Brilliant job from him, and it was PJ ghosted earlier on, so I don't know if he had an issue. Gibby, very, very quick at the moment. Can he make use of this? We know that when he gets a good qualifying position, he can be right up there.
Yeah, Gibby really needs to capitalise on these medium tyres. They are the quicker tyre for about 5, 6, 7 laps. And I would say they drop off, but really the mediums don't. It's just whether you can handle it. As Heisler's actually further behind retiring, and that might cause a bit of commotion, as this is also making a mistake further behind. But now looking up front, the battle for the lead, Cohen's in the lead by 5/10. Dave Raptors can't seem to catch him at the moment, but he seems to have went a bit wide there, and that's going to drop the gap. 4/10, 3/10, he's just lurking behind for the moment. Doesn't want to make a move too soon, just in case Cohen can slingshot back with that DRS, which it will be enabled on the next lap.
He's got a long, long train right behind him. Pursuit going fastest. That is Gibby making the move on Robbo. So Robbo has now found himself going in a bit of a reverse gear. That's End Andrews having a look as well. He's on that medium tyre as Gibby is. Is he just going to let them go? He will. Higher tier driver for End Andrews, who's only losing 1 position overall. And these guys are looking pretty quick, not only on that medium tyre, but in a straight line. We know End Andrews, as I will say again and again and again, is very, very quick. Already going to make that move. So a brilliant job from End Andrews, just trying to minimize his impact in this race. They should be able to catch up to the top 3, because the top 3 have got a bit of a gap between themselves and the rest of the field, so it's not too easy to get close to them. So probably a smart thing to do. Robbo though is now in P6 on that hard tyre. If these guys in front gap him, he's going to be in trouble.
These top 3 are really close. It seems as though Pursuit has a lot of pace for the middle sector. I say that, he makes a bit of a mistake. Thankfully he doesn't lose the car and go off into the off-road part of the track, which wouldn't have been ideal, but everyone seems to be struggling with the rear end. Dave Raptor's making a mistake there. If you look on board with some of these guys, maybe Pursuit's the best for it, you'll see that the car's shaking quite a lot, so maybe that low downforce is making them struggle quite a lot. Maybe they went too low in the downforce, some of them. Maybe Robbo's went too low in the downforce, and that's why he's struggling so much. Maybe Pursuit has also went down in the downforce quite a lot, but is probably by this point maybe got used to the oversteering, and Robbo's maybe just trying to find his feet as well. So the low downforce really playing a part of this track, and it's quite difficult for the cars to really get planted, especially when there's nothing to the car.
You do have to kind of run a very tricky setup, and it's all about who can cope with the oversteer in a way. It's oversteer and understeer. It's just the nature of the circuit. If you want to be able to overtake somebody in a straight line, that's what you have to do. Cohen still leads the way by a pretty nice margin. I don't think Dave Raptors is going to be challenging him anytime soon. Pursoon, though, will challenge Dave Raptors. He's going to go for that move already, it seems. No, backs off, going to sit behind and let these guys relax. He just wants to get settled into the race. That's Cohen. Cohen going to be challenged. I didn't see that because the camera angle's absolutely all over the place. End Andrews is going to have a look, and that's Dave Raptors now all of a sudden down to P4. So that's not what you want to see. I don't know what happened there. The camera angle was very, very strange.
Yeah, what happened was Dave went right around the outside the cone, he lost the back end and hit Dave off the track. I think that is part of the issue we're having right now. People just don't feel confident enough to make moves, and when they do, stuff like that happens when there's people getting forced off track. Unintentionally, of course, but it's not something we want to see. But this is the stuff, this is the risk that you need to take around a track that is so demanding on top speed, and well, you need to run as low downforce as you can because you do not want to be gobbled up in a straight line. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. From personal experience, you do not want to be the slowest on the track, on a straight line of course. You can all be good and well in the corners, but when it takes, I'll say no skill, but when it takes not as much skill really, I don't want to say that, but you get what I mean. It's easier to be fast in a straight line than it is in the corners, but it's more beneficial to be fast in the corners than in the straight, depending on how fast you are in the corners, of course. That's also including tyre wear, which with higher downforce, as End Andrews goes for the move down the inside of Pursoon, and he's going to make the move stick on the medium tyre. I'm sure he will. Pursoon doesn't challenge it too much, but as I was saying, the higher downforce, the less tyre wear you're going to have, so you need to have a little balancing effect on it, and so that's what the drivers are dealing with right now. These guys are very skilled, of course, but it's the challenge, of course, really just managing the tyres and the downforces. We see End Andrews going for the lead of the race. As you said, the minimal impact, he's done a good job of it, and now his chance to run away is now. Cohen actually getting very close to him, maybe just finding it a bit easier on those hard tyres to be consistent is what other people found in the F1 race. As we're told, is there's a yellow flag behind as Tafari is retired on the straight, and that'll be a full course safety car.
This is Vale just went past the pit line. I don't think you're going to even really worry about that. Dave Raptor's getting a time penalty. Now, what I was going to say is Pursoon was probably pretty annoyed at End Andrews going for that move into turn one, because it looked like he was psyching up a move down the Kemmel Straight. It looked like it. I'm not sure if he was going to do it anyway. End Andrews then decided to go for that move, but luckily for Pursoon, he decided immediately that he was going to go for the overtake on Cohen and just try and get through as soon as he possibly could. He wasn't able to escape. The safety car's been deployed. I assume that End Andrews is going to be pitting, trying his best to go to the end. I think he can give it a shot. Everybody else, though, Zingy, would you suggest staying out, or would you do a medium-medium?
Well, then you have to pit for softs at the end. Well, that's the issue. What do you guys do? Andrew stays out. He thinks he's got the pace to do it. Dave Raptors, on the other hand, he's going to come into the pit lane presumably for that medium tyre. So we're going to wait and see what these guys go on to, but I presume everyone is going to go to the medium tyres. Unless your name's Robbo, who's probably going to go to the soft tyres, let's be real. But we're going to see now, yep, Dave Raptors on the medium. He's going to hold up Robbo a little bit, which shouldn't really affect him. Robbo, he's going to go for the medium. I would expect him to go soft. I'm sure last season he done the same thing. And he just gets ahead out of Gilly, who nearly jumped him in the pit lane. So the Alpine people pitting at the same time, it's not going to do them justice, that's for sure. As I think everyone's pitting onto the medium, but do you think they can make it to the end? I don't think they can.
So I don't think they can make it to the end, but they might be able to save and maybe just creep to the end. We've seen both Robbo and Dave Raptors have punches this season. Dave Raptors in Bahrain on the soft tyre, and that was Robbo on the wet tyre in France. Was it intermediate? I think it was for wet. So yeah, it's not easy, and to get to the end, it's not going to be easy either, but I know that they're definitely going to give it a shot. They could still go for another set of mediums. They can pit when the other guys on the hard tyre will be pitting, and the other guys on the hard tyre are only Pursoon and Cohen. That's it. So actually, Pursoon and Cohen they're not at a disadvantage because the hard tyre, it can be fairly consistent around this circuit, but when they go into the pit lane, the other guys can still go for a pit stop as well. They've lost a bit of track position. They might be able to regain it pretty quickly if they have the confidence to do so, if they can warm up their tyres enough during the safety car phase as well and switch them on. I don't know. I think... I think I would like to go for a double medium like Dave Raptors and Robbo are doing. It's quite a interesting way of doing it. But at this stage, Pursoon and Cohen being rivals, they have to forget all that and they have to work together.
Well, working together is also a possibility, but when you've got people who are going to be, I'm going to be balls here and say a second faster. This track, remember, is the longest on the calendar. It's got, I'm going to say 18, 19 corners. It's a lot of corners, a lot of fast ones where you can gain so much time. As End Andrews comes into the pits this lap. Why would he do that? Maybe to get a fresher set of medium hard tyres. However, he would have got only about 1 or 2% more. Plus, he would have had track position. As Gilly also comes in, he's going to go onto the hard tyre, which he hasn't been on yet. He's going to go to the end of the race. They've decided that he's going to go safe, go to the end, and with his very low downforce, I'm sure he said anyway, he will be absolutely flying. Well, on the straights at least. In the corners, he might struggle a bit. But with these guys having to come in again, right? Is Gilly's strategy a preferable one to be on?
No. I don't think so. You're going to have a bit of track position loss, of course. You will be able to just keep going and going and going, and you won't have to pit again. But I think if you can have DRS, and also if you're on that medium strategy, then you're just going to have the advantage anyway. Bassoon and Cohen, they might have a bit of a harder time. I say that though, they're leading the pack, so they are currently blocking all the medium tyre runners from going long. I think after saying all of that, maybe the hard tyre is actually the best tyre to be on right now. But it'll be very, very fine to probably lap 19, I think you'll start to see a bit of pressure. And pressure around this circuit with a very few laps, and you have to get a move done with every opportunity you can find. It's going to create for some very, very aggressive racing. That's all I'll say for now.
I think that you're right in seeing the light that I would have proposed to you. And Gilly, I'm not going to say he's going to be on for a win, right? He does have to stop again. Obviously, Andrews doesn't either. Andrews is just insane around this track. I don't know how he does it. But Gilly, right? Safety car being in this lap. These medium tyres are going to put, well, depending on what tyre you want to go to. If you want to stretch it to softs, it's going to be a lap 17, 18. But if it's mediums, they might just go to 14 and balance the 14, 15, sorry, and balance the strategy out. Meanwhile, Gilly doesn't need to make a stop. So, yeah, it might be 1 second a lap, it might even be 8 tenths a lap, depends on how fast Gilly will be in that hard tyre, which is very easy to be consistent on. So Gilly's got every chance of doing well. The guys up front obviously need to make another pit stop, but so does everyone, with the exception of the two just mentioned behind him.
Yeah.
He's gone for it? Oh, sorry.
Not going for it, no. Cohen is leading the way. Bassoon sat in P2 safety car in this lap. They can go at any point right now. He's already into the pit lane. Will he go for it yet before the corner? Or is it going to be mid-corner? It's going to be a mid-corner restart. Looks like he might have gone for it already. Yes, he has. He sent it. He's lost the rear. Bassoon, is he going to have a go at making the move? He had to back out. You don't want to get an overtake before the line. Otherwise, you're going to be in big, big problems. That is a dive bomb for 2 positions. 2 positions of Dave Raptors on that medium tyre. When was that ever going to work? Well, apparently today it's going to work. He is managing to just about be ahead, and he takes this side by side with Bassoon. Does Gibby. Gibby now with that 5-lap-old medium tyre. He's not going to be quick for too long, so he's got to take every advantage he can do. Bassoon is being eaten alive. Not what he wants to see at all. They're still side by side. Bassoon, he's got the championship to fight fight for here, so he can't do too much. He's got to be careful of how he risks this. Robbo is on the inside, not going to be in a position to make an overtake just yet, but he'll have a lot of grip in that car.
Yeah, that was an insane dive bomb by Dave Raptors, and now his teammate of Robbo is going to be right over the back of him on the fresh medium tyre, probably about 5% around about now, and he's going to be loving life being behind his championship rival Pursuit. He's got to be careful though, he doesn't want to take both of them out of the race, as we see Pursuit actually going for the move back on Gibby through the second chicane. He makes contact and he spins. Gibby lost the back end, hit Pursuit, and that's what caused him to spin, and now Robbo and Pursuit will be battling for a podium position. And now Robbo just can't seem to find a way through at the moment. Maybe the dirty air affecting him a little bit, and he's not got any pressure behind, so he's got time to wait. And looking further back now, and Andrews, is he going to look for a move? No, it looks like it's calming down for now.
That's exactly what you were talking about earlier on with the oversteer. It's hard to make overtakes. That's PJ going to go for a move on Robbo. Now, Robbo's going to let that go. He's also got End Andrews having a look. End Andrews is not going to be far enough alongside, and he doesn't have to be given that space. This is Vale to the outside line on Eager Pro, and he's going to be right there, but he has to try and focus on a bit more of an exit situation. There is End Andrews going for, was it a weave? Was he trying to warm his tyres or something? I don't quite know, but we got a bit of a train here. End Andrews, will he have a go? Does he have to run? He does have to run on the hard tyre. The hard tyre. So Robbo has got the worst case scenario situation going on right here. He's got two F1 drivers in between, and he can't catch up to Pursuit because those guys have just been fighting him a little bit. So he's hating this. Absolutely hating this. Eager Pro goes and gets himself a time penalty, unfortunately. Let's see if that changes later on. I don't quite know. Up front, Dave Raptors has managed to get into the lead of this race on that medium tyre. Not really a surprise, to be honest. However, Pursuit has managed to get back into DRS range after losing it earlier on with the battle. So Pursuit's back in this. He does want to win.
Yeah, Dave Raptors needs to use this last sector as an advantage. There's quite a few corners where the medium tyre will be quite grippy, and he's shown with the confidence on the brakes that these tyres are doing well. As Eager Pro making the move on Robbo. Robbo falling like a stone at the moment. He just can't seem to find his flow for now, and he just has to maybe stick in the DRS Eager Pro, maybe get a move on him later on. But for now, he just needs to calm himself down and recompose himself for the next few laps. As Dave Raptors 1.3 seconds ahead of Cohen, so he's dropped DRS off him, and he just needs to keep on doing this for laps on end, because that's what's going to cause him to do well in this race. Who's that in the pit lane?
Owen.
Oh, he's going early. I mean, I do know the medium tyres can last quite a bit, but it's quite a surprise it's came in already. So he's going to go for the ultra undercut. As we've seen, 2 seconds he can gain from a lap. So if he gets a good out lap, he's got all the chance of doing well.
Yeah, definitely he has. We've got this is Vale and Robbo going to try and hunt down Eager Pro, but Eager Pro is very quick in a straight line. Will these guys be able to switch up? This is Vale on a very similar, on exactly the same tyre as Robbo, age-wise as well. Will Eager Pro be able to hold on? It looks like he'll have a shot. He is just going to stay ahead and Robbo will not be able to fight it. I don't know if Robbo's got damage. I would suggest not, because I don't think there was actually any opportunity for him to be colliding. And Andrews sending it to the inside of PJ. He's on that harder tyre, has the outside line now. PJ is going to go for a switchback, is on the horizon if he can get a better exit, but no, he will not. PJ just about gets on the throttles. You could see him squirm. But very, very, very responsive are the cars with this lack of downforce. Somehow it just about stays on the circuit and grip to the surface. But yeah, Cohen going to go for that extreme undercut. He's got clean air. This might not be a bad idea for him. He's just going to have to watch out towards the later stages of this race. Dave Raptors, who's looking very quick, has that time penalty, so it's not going to be so easy for him to gain anything. His championship rival as well, Pursuit, Pursuit's championship rival, Robbo, is in P6 at the moment. Cohen can still come back in the championship, but it's not as easy. That is no one making a move at the moment, but no one going into the pit lane either. I don't think. Someone maybe having a look? No.
No, Robbo seemed to get a good exit there, but he just couldn't make it work, that's for sure. And have you noticed that this is Vale's actually clawed onto the back of this? So this is Vale from starting last. Maybe not doing the last to first that we might have predicted, but for now he's looking like he's got some amazing pace. Closing up to Robbo, although he does hit a bump there, so suggesting that he might have a bit lower ride height with struggling with the bumps around this track. Looking further ahead now, and Andrews going for the move on PJ. This is going to give Igor Pro a chance because he's all flustered. PJ tries to go for the move back on end Andrews, and he loses the back end. This is Igor's chance to finally break through. Will he do it? He's going to get the little cutback. PJ spun the car, and is that him out the race? Yes, it is. PJ with an absolutely massive crash, and that might cause a safety car, which it has. Dave Raptors pursuing, and all those other guys will be able to pit again. Well, everyone's going to pit. So, this just levels the playing field.
I don't know if there was contact between Igor Pro and Robbo, or if that was desync, because on my screen, they absolutely ruined each other. And then there was just a massive lag spike, and then Igor Pro's round. So I don't know what happened there. It was immediately after the spin of PJ, of course. PJ spinning ahead, that meant that Igor Pro had to just quickly lift off the throttle, because otherwise he was going to go straight into the back of them. Igor Pro, I think, doesn't have damage, so he's still right there, and he can gain. Safety car is here. Cohen gets a 3-second. Maybe frustrated, obviously. I think he would be frustrated. He can still get a bit of an undercut, but not as much as he wants. Dave Raptors is now going to lead this race on that medium tyre. Pursoon is going to be on that medium tyre without a time penalty comfortably in P2 on the same tyre as well as Dave Raptors.
It's just going to be pace to the end. Whoever's going to be the fastest.
No, hards.
What?
No idea.
Wait, I've just realised Dave's going to be in the hards, pursuing the mediums. It's going to be a change of tyre. Sorry, I'm thinking everyone's still going to the hards, but people who started on hards are going to be able to go to mediums. So Robbo, oh dear, Robbo is
No, but why did Dave Raptors not go to his second set of medium tyres?
Let me check the race tyre right. I don't know if he's been on hard or if it's going to let me.
I'm pretty sure he started on the hard tyre, then went on to the medium.
Yeah, hard, medium, hard. Why would he not have another set of mediums unless he went soft or on the...
Well, he's actually on 2 sets of fresh hard tyres. So
he's doing harder then?
So, yeah, he's got a harder compound, which might help him at the end, but the deficit at the start, I think like we saw with a couple cars, you'll drop very, very quickly, and you're going to lose out. Robbo, doing the same thing. So these Alpine boys have got some sort of master plan in the back of their minds, so we'll see if it works out for them. Pursoon is right there. This is Vale. It is now in the battle. He's had a couple laps to get used to the circuit, had a few issues earlier on, but since then, he's been right at the back of the battle. He managed to get in front, of course, as everybody's made pit stops. I think we're going to be going in this lap. We will be going in this lap. I don't believe it. That's so unlucky for Cohen. It's absolutely heartbreak. I have no idea what to say. I can't find the words for that, but he's now got a time penalty. He doesn't have any advantage on the strategy. That's the worst possible thing you can have done to you. He does have 2 higher tier drivers in front of him, so he's still in P7, but he doesn't really care. He's just now lost his possible advantage to win this race, and Pursoon, who he really didn't want to win, his rival around this circuit last time as well, is now going to be in a very comfortable position.
Well, I mean, this is a risky undercut game to game, really. Which is maybe a bad thing to say, but these things can happen. You're taking a risk of an undercut. Of course you're going to be faster, but the risk is a safety car is going to come out and it's going to absolutely ruin your race, which it has to Cohen here, which is really unfortunate. Cohen had quite good pace at the start, matching Pursoon even after that incredible qualifying lap of Pursoon's, but honestly, that is unlucky. It's saddening to see, but he just needs to look forward now. The only way is up from here. There's no one behind him to pressurise him, and now all he needs to do is he needs to do a lot, but he just needs to pick it off one car at a time. That's what he needs to think right now. And if he thinks that mentality, he should be able to get through actually quite easily, considering the pace he had earlier on.
If I was Cohen, I would have pitted. Well, did he start on the mediums? Oh, wait, no, he was already on the mediums anyway because he did that undercut. Never mind. Ignore what I was going to say. I was going to say if I was Cohen, I would have pitted for 1 lap fresh tyres because you're at the back. He doesn't actually have a fresher set, so ignore everything I was just about to say. And Andrews leads the way. He's going to try and cause a minimal impact on this race. He started on that medium tyre, so he's going to the end. He just needs to try and break away. Dave Raptor's slightly fresher tyres than Andrews. He's going to be comfortable to go to the end. It's all about defending right here. Damage limitation, I hate to say it, but Pursoon at the beginning should have the advantage. And Andrews spinning during the safety car phase. I don't think he's got damage. So he's still in this one. Luckily, he'll be able to catch up to the safety car restart, but that's every single advantage he had now gone.
He's bottled it under safety car. I mean, it's easier than what you think, right? No, it's easier than what you think. Being under safety car, you're relaxed. You're just trying to compose yourself for the next restart, and you're not really thinking too much. However, it's a bit of a clumsy mistake for someone of a high caliber driver of Andrews to make. So, I was surprised really, but now he's got all this work to do. I mean, now Cohen. That's one car dispatched already, so he's got to look at it that way. And the safety car is in this lap.
It happens sometimes, we'll say that. We like to, rivals like to dig at each other when they can, so that's all I'll say now. Dave Raptors leads the way, Pursoon in P2. He's got, I would say, everything in his hands. This is Vale does have an extra lap on their tyre. Still, they're going to be very, very dangerous. We don't quite know what their pace is at the moment, so Pursoon is also going to be looking forward, I'm sure he's not, to find out how that goes. Dave Raptors is going to be the one to go for the restart. He's waiting. The safety car is now in. He can go at any point right now. He's gone for it very, very early. Very, very nice restart from him. Is anybody else going to get caught out? It looks all right between Gilly and Robbo. Gilly, unfortunately, did sleep on that restart a little bit. It seems that's Gibby and Cohen. No, Gibby making moves. Was that Cohen and Anders? Egapro, sorry, having issues. Further ahead, everything's all right. Does anybody have damage? And Andrews goes into the pit lane to retire, and that's Cohen into the pit lane as well. So he's had some sort of issue into the pit lane. Does he get a front wing change? Just quickly double check. No, he won't. Just onto the medium tyre. Very interesting situation. Dave Raptors is going to go defensive from Pursoon. Pursoon, is he going to go for the move right now? He doesn't have the DRS, so it's probably not worth it. This is Vale isn't able to hold on down the straight, and he's going to be vulnerable to Robbo right behind.
Yeah, this is Phil having a bit of a poor restart. Those hard tyres aren't doing as bad as what we would have anticipated. But this is Vale has to just look behind now and defend well from... Pursoon's actually got a penalty, sorry. Pursoon's got a penalty, and now it's even with Dave Raptors. They're fighting for the win now. Pursoon doesn't have that comfort of just staying behind. He needs to make the move, and he needs to do it quick. Remember, those hard tyres will be very slow, but Dave Raptor seems to be very calm at the moment, and that's what he needs to be. And he makes a bit of a mistake, speaking of, and that's going to give Pursoon an opportunity maybe. But he doesn't seem to want to go for the move. He's going to wait for a better, smarter opportunity rather than going for an unnecessary risk against someone who's not even his championship rival at the moment. His rival is actually in P4, looking to make a move on. This is Vale, but he looks to sort his issues out. And now he's pulled away a little bit, but Robbo on the straight, man. He's looking rapid at the moment, but looking up front now, Pursoon around the outside of Dave Raptors at the bus stop chicane. Is he going to make the move stick? Dave holds it right around the outside, gets the traction down well, and he's still P1 for the moment. Pursoon, is he going to look for the move into turn 1? DRS is not available until next lap. He looks for the right hand side. He's going to go for the switchback, and he's going to make it work. As he loses the back end a little bit, David needs to cut him off here, and he does. That is great defending by Dave Raptors. He's still P1, and this is allowing this as Vale to catch up. He hits the bump again. That low right height's really messing him up, and that's going to allow Robbo to get a little bit of a run, but he doesn't at the moment. Pursuing to the outside into Lacombe. Is he going to get it on the brakes? I don't know. He sends it round the outside. He goes off track a little bit, and Dave Raptors manages to maintain the position. Now he's going to be under threat from this is Vale.
He was really trying to get that move done while DRS wasn't available, because he knows that if he does do that, Dave Raptors won't be able to hold on, and then this is Vale would have a bit of a hard time catching up if they could create a bit of a gap. So unfortunately for Pursoon, that plan has failed. At the moment, he's got to make that move and then just pray that Dave Raptors doesn't challenge him on the straights. But yeah, very, very hard to get past this Alpine, and this is Vale is loving this because they're not able to break away. Is that smart from Dave Raptors? I don't know. He's still gaining a position as of now on Pursoon, but it's lap 15 out of 22. We got a long way to go in this race. Many things could change. Robbo sits right behind. He's going to go for it once again. Dave Raptors, will he be able to hold on this time? This is the third time of asking. Holding it to the outside line has the advantage. Dave Raptors now behind into the braking zone. He has the superior grip. He should be able to get the move done this time. Pretty straightforward. Bit of contact with the rear tyre. Doesn't really bother Pursoon too much. Dave Raptors is going to be right behind though, and he's going to get DRS.
I don't understand the logic of that move from Pursoon. Maybe he'll get a lot on the traction, which he does get quite a bit of traction off the exit, but now Dave Raptors is going to be able to chill behind him. He's going to use a bit of battery here. Dave Raptors doesn't seem to be affected by that bump that this is Vale has, but he's run out of battery on the straight. This is going to give Dave Raptors all the motivation to go back for the move into the comp, which way to go right to the inside. He's going to make the braking zone. He's going to pull the car up, but Pursoon, with the better traction and cornering grip, manages to hold it for now. And now into the hairpin. He's going to use all the battery he's got left. He squeezes him to the inside. Dave Raptors on Pursoon. It's side by side. He's going to have the outside. He's going to be able to use the momentum to come into No Name and hopefully, for his sake, get the traction down, and he does, and into Poo on it still side by side. I can't believe this. Dave Raptors is going to hold it for now. He goes off track a little bit, but Pursoon gets the car, pulls up on time to get the car in front of him. But yet again, these guys can't be separated. The hard and medium tyres seem to be working wonders for both drivers at the moment. But Pursoon, does he manage to get the move done? No, Dave Raptors comes back at him. But he finally, after nearly a whole lap of racing, manages to get ahead.
Absolutely incredible. Pursoon doesn't have battery though to defend. Neither does Dave Raptors, so it's pretty much just pure slipstream and straight line speed. But that's not what Pursoon wanted. He had a middle sector where he should have been more powerful at to get away, but it's not going to work. Dave Raptors comes back at him again to just try and keep that pressure on, and he's going to get DRS again. So he has an amazing chance to fight back. However, this is Vale might throw something in the mix. No, a bit too far back to make a move. Dave Raptors, though, is confident with his car. Not on the exit, though. This is Vale's a little bit more confident, and I think he's gonna get the move done before Eau Rouge. He does. DRS available. It looks like he's got ERS to deploy. So close, though, with Dave Raptors. He's got to be careful if he makes contact up the hill. Oh, and there's contact. They are both out of the race. That's a big crash. The safety car is deployed. That was nasty. That was nasty. I think this is Vale maybe thought that Dave Raptors was going to the inside, or maybe not as far ahead as he was. I don't know. That was big.
I apologise for the scream, but I don't know what just happened. Oh, those guys were having such a great battle. This is Vale was looking to go from last to first. He didn't have a penalty. He had the very good tyres on the car. However, he seemed to have just misjudged where Dave Raptor's car was, and that's what caused the contact. And a 170-mile-an-hour crash on the Camel Straight is one of the nastiest things that I'm at. Oh, I can't even talk, man. That is... yeah.
Yeah, not ideal for Pursoon. I don't like to move on that quickly, but Pursoon, now has a time penalty. He can still go pretty easily to the end of this race. What he has to hope is that Igapro and Gilly don't pit. Robbo, he might consider something different. I think he's probably going to go for a pit stop because he can then get onto that medium tyre. Or soft, if he really dared. Is he going to pit? He is going to pit. Igapro's going to follow him. And Gilly is as well. Gilly is as well. And that's exactly what Pursoon didn't want. I really didn't expect that, honestly, for the medium tyres. I think that would have been a much better opportunity to stay on that medium tyre. But no, soft tyre for Igapro. Don't know what the other guys are going to do. Robbo goes to the medium, so he will have a nice advantage. Putting that Red Bull tyre on for both Ferraris, they are patriotic as hell. But Pursoon is now hating this. He's got a 3-second gap. He has to hope that something happens to Robbo. And you never know. Maybe he will have the pace.
Hold on. Robbo just went to the medium tyre. Why? Why has he went to the medium tyre? Unless this is one of Robbo's wacky strategies, and if he wins it, I'll take it back. But this is the first time I'm going to say Robbo's strategy seems very dumb. I don't say Robbo's a dumb person, I'm just saying the strategy was a bit miscalculated. This can happen in a race where the pressure gets to you and you don't know what to do, so you just go for the safer option. However, when the safety car comes in with, 2-3 laps to go, the soft tyres are going to be in full effect. They'll get to about 35-40%, but 40 is usually when they start dropping off, so they're going to be faster than the medium tyre runners the whole time. So I don't see the logic behind this. I want to know your opinion on this, Aaron. Does this make sense to you? Can you see anything in it? Or do you think it's just a bit of a miscalculation from Robbo?
Around this circuit, soft tyres, yeah, they do last about 2 laps. However, according to the Alpine strategy by going for a hard, medium, hard, it would suggest that maybe they have a setup that suits the harder compounds, which would possibly be higher tyre pressures and therefore being able to go a little bit longer on tyres, better tyre wear, I should say. So maybe they don't have the ability to go onto a set of soft tyres because their setup doesn't suit it. We're going to be having about 2 laps of racing. No DRS will be available. No, 3 laps of racing, so DRS will be available on the final lap, if I'm correct. So that's going to be an interesting one. Now, Pursoon's going to be thankful for Robbo not going to the soft tyre, but still, he will have the advantage. Pursoon isn't going to exactly be slow. He should be absolutely fine to get to the end, so it will be pretty marginal. Igapro, though, would he want to go for an overtake? He wants to race. He's got that tyre, but he is a higher tier driver, so he's got to be careful on how he plays this. If he has significant pace, sure, he can go for it. If not, then he might want to try and step back. He doesn't want to give the guys behind any problems either. Gilly, going to be loving this. As long as he can stay in a train, he'll be very, very happy because the time penalties will be nice and easy for him. And just to confirm, we will be getting 3 laps of racing.
Gilly, the time penalty merchant. I'm joking. Gilly managing to keep it without track limits, and that's what really helped him. That's what really helps anyone around any track. If you're able to be fast and not cut the corners, then that is what you call some skill. And Gilly's got that. I think I'm quite jealous of Gilly actually, because if it wasn't for corner cutting penalties, I might have won the race yesterday. So if I could just take Gilly's lack of time penalty ability and transfer it over to myself, I would be more than happy, because people underestimate it and be like, oh, strict corner cutting isn't that difficult, I could do that with my eyes closed. No, you can. Strict corner cutting around a track like Belgium where it's 1 minute 40 lap times, there's so many corners where you need to keep on pushing. The penalties can just come at you like that, a snap of the finger, and that's a penalty for you. You don't expect it, but it can happen.
Perrin now catches up to the back of the pack. He's on that medium tyre as well. He's going to be pretty consistent. Maybe he'll have the confidence, but he's got that time penalty. So at most, he'll be able to gain a position on Gibby. You never know. You never know. Something might happen up ahead and he might be able to gain. He could even win this race. It will take quite some doing. It'll take quite some doing. That's all I'm going to say. But Pursuit's going to be leading for the final time. He does have a little bit of DRS to worry about. But, I mean, I don't know. He's pretty quick. I think in time trial, I think he was the quickest out of the entire grid. Will he be able to back it up?
I want to ask quickly before we start this race again. If every car were to DNF, what would happen?
No one will score points unless they score 80%, then it will be the DNFing order.
Is it not 90?
90%, yes.
Right.
Then
okay.
it will be the DNFing order.
Right, okay. I just wanted to make sure what would happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but I just wanted to know.
Just
Right, okay, we're getting
1998
racing.
vibes. Yeah, alright. Pursuit is going to go for the restart for one final time. The Belgian Grand Prix is about to get underway. When will he go for it? He's not gone for it just yet. He's gone for it. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Now?
No.
No? Now.
No.
Now he's gone for it, but Robbo is right there. Is he going to look for the send? He's going to go for the send. No, he's going to back off, move back to the racing line and try and secure it. Cohen is going to have a look, but no, Gibby sends it to the inside of Gilly. It's not going to work for him. Cohen's now going to get a decent run. He's going to be pretty close. The closer you are, the better, but I don't know if it will be actually any use. Back to the top two. We have to look at this battle. Eager Pro's so quick. Is he even going to bother having a look? No, that is Robbo not going to be able to have a go. He goes defensive, does Robbo on Eager Pro. That is Gibby staying ahead of Cohen. Cohen can't find a way through. These soft tyres initially are absolutely rapid, but Gilly isn't able to keep up in the corners.
Well, it looks as though Eager's making the most of the soft tyres. What is going on? Gilly's went absolutely massively wide. But does he make the move stick? He does. I don't know what happened there. But Gilly's up into P3. And that's him looking for a podium position at the moment. Gilly looking for a P3 as Eager Pro spins. So maybe the soft tyres aren't the best call after all. Maybe Robbo will win this race after all that bad talking I said about him. Because Gilly's now 2 seconds behind. Gilly... is he catching? He's catching a little bit, but it looks as though he can't really push the soft tyres the way that I was able to see him push that medium tyre, because he's 1.9 now, he lost a 10th out of that sector, and now Gibby is going to be looking for a move, and Gilly's podium chances might be going down the drain. Granted, Gibby does have a penalty coming into the bus stop chicane for the 20th time. Is he going to go for the move? He's late braking, he's got so much confidence on the brakes, but in like, well, goes right into the back of him, and that is, well, yeah, that's Gilly keeping P3 at the moment, and back at the front, Pursuit is pulling away from Robbo.
Yeah, that was a bit of contact with Gilly and Gibby. That's what happened. Gilly went wide, and Gibby
now,
actually
coming
let
onto the
position back.
straight, he'll be flying, I presume so, considering. Oh no, he's not got ERS. I thought he might have had a bit more battery, so maybe Robbo, this is his time to catch up, as we see Eager Pro retiring, looking further back. Gibby can't seem to make the move at the moment. However, with Gilly's lack of pace, it might be optimal for him to maybe look into a corner that he's potentially weak. I'm not too sure at the moment. Robbo still trying to find a ways past Pursuit, but I'm not sure whether he can. The gap's now extended to 1 second, although he doesn't have any battery left. So coming onto the last lap in just a moment's time, it's going to be Pursuit leading with that 3 second. Gilly's not even within the time penalty range, so I'm not sure whether he can get back into it, but the gap's 4 seconds from him to the leader. So if anything, this is best Gilly's going to get. He was on for a P2 at one point, especially with that, well, initial soft tyre pace, but it just hasn't looked like it ever since.
Now, Pursuit is going to lead the way by quite a nice margin. Robbo, all he has to do is hold on. He's got one lap that he needs to do it, so it's looking pretty good. He's lost about a second. Gains on the straight, interestingly. That's not what you often see from Robbo, so maybe he's trying to go for some sort of different setup. Gilly isn't going to catch up, but he is going to look at a podium. It's going to be a pretty comfortable podium as well. Robbo's pushing everything just to get that DRS, and that's a risky strategy because you're going to have to burst all that energy, otherwise it's not going to work out. Pursuit does the same thing. To the run, to the DRS straight, Robbo will just about do enough. He's going to catch up a lot here, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually make a move. Then there'll be a couple corners that Pursoon seems to be very, very strong in. I think when we get to the later stage of the lap, it's going to be it. Robbo will still be able to hold on. That DRS has helped him nicely. Was it the right call, or was it better to just gradually deploy that ERS? I think this was a pretty good call, because now Pursoon's got a lot more pressure. It's going to be so difficult for him to get anything. Luckily for Pursoon, his rival is pretty far behind, so he's not going to be actually losing too much, even if he gets to P2. No, Robbo's the rival, sorry. So Robbo's going to take another win here and extend the championship lead he has. Pursoon will be able to get to P2 in the championship, but that's not what he wants. He wants to gain anything he can on P1. Now, Robbo has got a couple more corners to go. He's not within DRS range. It doesn't really matter. Pursoon looks like he's going to hold on and cross the line to win on track the second time running. 2 consecutive wins in a row it would have been for him. But Robbo, he's got a couple more corners. All he needs to do is not spin like he did on debut at the chicane, and he'll be good to go. Pursoon comes around the final corner, and he will win at Belgium. But Robbo wins the Belgian Grand Prix, and he takes another win this season, extending the championship lead. Pursoon to P2, Gilly will take a P3. Gibby is going to take a very solid P4 after a crazy ending to their race, and Cohen will have to settle for a P5 after everything going against him. This circuit just absolutely hates him.
I mean, he still managed to get P5, so I wouldn't be complaining. Is he going to do a little... what? He's going to reverse cross the line. I mean, fair enough. Just don't get disqualified for the love of goodness. Thank you. He goes across the line backwards. That pretty much sums up his race. Absolutely terrible. It wasn't his fault. Bad luck. He got P5, but Pursoon just couldn't get it in the end, and Robbo wins the Grand Prix as again, extending his championship leads. Incredible stuff.
And Andrews, you can't escape it. Gets the driver of the day there. He did a very good job while it lasted. But yeah, we'll see. Robbo takes the win for the Belgian Grand Prix. He's going to be very happy with that one. Robbo wins, Pursoon in P2, and then Gilly in P3. We've got Gibby, Cohen, Pro finishing the order, and then DNFing was Dave Raptors, This Is Phil, and Andrews, PJ, Tafari, Heischler, and Rexty earlier on lap 1. We're going to go through the race director just in case if we need to a little bit later on, and then we'll go to the pit stop section, and then we will see you in a little bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the post-race interviews for the Belgian Grand Prix. The interviews, that is. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Sorry for the delay as well. We're finally here. Hi Isha. That was, I mean, there wasn't really much to say. It was a pretty bad race in the end.
Yeah. I am gonna continue my rant about this, how shit this game is, because I spun in 6th gear. Don't ask me how. Yeah, I've watched it back. There was no problems with my car, and then in the exit when I went full throttle, whoop, it was gone in 6th gear.
Maybe it was steering angle and low downforce potentially.
You know that chicane you have in the 2nd sector, that
Yeah.
right and then left, yeah. If you just go quite slowly on the throttle there, and when your steering wheel is straight in 6th gear, you would assume you just can go, yeah, foot to the floor. But apparently you couldn't, whilst I did it like the whole race yesterday. So I don't really get it, to be honest.
Very, very weird. That's all I can say. I'm really sorry that it ended that way, but there's not really much I can say.
Yeah.
Forget about this one then. Saudi Arabia. I know you said you might not be there, but
I will be there.
You will be there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you think you can do better there? I'm sure you can.
Yeah, you know how much I love that track. Yeah, I won't be there in F1.5, that's for sure. But I will be there in F1, and I'm really, really looking forward to that one.
Awesome. Let's see if we can get a podium at least. We'll have.
I didn't have it yet, so
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
nice.
Podium at least would be nice. Really good effort today. It's a shame that someone had something against you in the coding department.
I can laugh about it, so it's not a problem.
Fair enough, fair enough. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
No gear is safe. I know it's 4, but I don't care. No gear is safe.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
And we move on to Robbo. You won the Grand Prix. Really well done in the end. That safety car at the very end was very, very crazy. Hard tyres. They weren't working. Oh, not hard. Was it hard tyres?
Yeah.
What was the tyre you were on before your final pit? Final pit stop.
Yeah, we went on to hards with the idea it was kind of the medium to hard pit window. Me and Dave thought we might as well go to hards, play the safe game. We thought to the medium runners we wouldn't really lose out on much time. So we thought it was a safer option, which I must say it didn't work too badly. I was just able to stay within a DRS. We were kind of hoping it would come to us later on. But yeah, I thought the hards around Spa were quite hard to sort of control. There was definitely a clear lack of grip on the hards. I don't think they were really the best race tyre. The medium was a lot better. But yeah, the game plan for me was just really to stay in the race. I knew my pace wasn't up with the top runners, so just stay within DRS, let the race come to me if it ever does, play the strategy right, and then the safety car at the end and Persoon's 3-second time penalty just handed me the win. So yeah, I think it was a well-managed race. I'm definitely happy with that.
Yeah, you got to take it, extending your championship lead by 4 extra points, so really well done. Crazy race, but you managed to get there in the end and come out on top. Saudi Arabia, that's a pretty good track for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say I like to repeat what happened last year, but I don't really want to finish. I don't want to finish last in quali. So maybe improvement on the quali terms, but yeah, Jeddah's definitely one of my stronger tracks. Definitely looking forward to it. Let's see how it goes. Try and extend the lead in that championship even more.
Awesome. Really well done today. Very well played. one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
For the fellas.
Yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thanks, Ticker.
And we move on to Dave Raptors. Dave, that was surely a look at the win, at least. You had so much pace in that car.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great race, to be honest. But we'd obviously got unlucky with the contact. But, I mean, that's just really down to the contact model and the game not being very good. So, realistically, we had a good race. And the battle with Bassoon as well was unbelievable. Side by side for almost the whole lap, which was a brilliant battle. But at least we got Robbo the win, which is really the main outcome we wanted from the race for his championship. So, yeah.
Yeah, still scoring very good points, and I think still scoring most in the constructors overall today. So, in overall view of things, you've done everything that you needed to do. Thank you very much for some very, very great entertainment. It was a crazy race. Really good effort today. I'm just going to ask, do you like Saudi Arabia, the circuit?
No, it's possibly my worst circuit.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, fair enough. I mean, you did a really good job anyway today, so we'll see if we can try and get you up the grid and maybe go for your first ever win. It would be nice to see eventually, surely. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Contact model terrible.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Cheers.
And we move on to Gilly. Gilly, getting the podium in the end. Not in front of Bassoon, which would have been quite nice for you, but still, podium's a podium, and you're right there in the championship.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Can you go through your race overall with all the safety cards as well?
After I clicked the hardest tyre compounds, and I thought I absolutely called the strategy after the first safety car because I was started on hards, pit for mediums, and pit for hards, and I was going to go to the end. So if there weren't any safety cars, I think that would have done me well. But unfortunately, there were about 15 safety cars, and at the end, the softs were just horrible. They were dead before the safety car finished, so I had no chance of keeping up with the faster people on the mediums.
I mean, still, it was a very good effort, especially at a circuit that really doesn't like you. You did a very good job to fight it. So yeah, really well done. A podium is very, very nice indeed. Saudi Arabia, that's a high-speed track as well. Do you think you'll like that one?
I like the track, but speaking of circuits that don't like me, I've done multiple seasons in LSI and I've never made it past lap 1 in Saudi Arabia. So that's going to be fun.
Let's hope that we don't get a repeat of that, and let's hope that you can get through. I do remember last season pretty well. Unfortunately, didn't even make it to turn 1. But yeah, we'll stay optimistic and hopefully you'll finally be able to get through. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I was slow.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thank you.
And we move on to Curran. Curran, absolutely heartbreak. The safety car couldn't come out at a worse time, and then the domino effect, it just kept on going bad.
Yeah, as you say, the safety car came on the wrong moment, so I was I was lost, I think, at the restart. And then Gibby touched Eager Pro wide, and the game didn't go to Eager Pro, so I lost my wing. And then I was very close to retiring the car because I was pretty done with it, but I stayed out. And then another safety car, and the same happened because I got brake checked by Gibby, unfortunately. So I had to pit again, and then I was just done with it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Fair enough. I mean, still getting to the end of the race at a very difficult circuit and scoring points. It's never what you want. I know it's not what you want. You need to win races to catch up. So it's a shame, and it's absolutely insane how unlucky that was. But it only makes the good times better. So Saudi Arabia is a very good circuit from you, if I remember correctly. Do you think you can go for the win there?
Yeah, we'll go for that. I think it's a good track for me. Last year the race went pretty well, so I hope we can do that again and get a win because that will feel very good, I think.
Awesome. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Front wing plate.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. That's it for me, and I'll pass you over to Zingy.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching that race. That was quite an action-packed one. That's one way of putting it. And next week we'll be riding at Saudi Arabia, which will be, even more action-packed. Saudi is a very tight, very fast track, so mistakes will be punished very severely, as we've seen today in this race. And that'll be at Friday, 8 PM for F1 on a Friday. On Saturday will be F1.5 again, which we'll be joining you for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But that's been it for me and Aaron, and we'll see you later.